Welcome to the Gracie Academy. Hidon Gracie, Henner Gracie. In 1993, our father created the Ultimate Fighting Championship to showcase the effectiveness and the importance of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu to the world.
And now that every professional fighter has added Jiu-Jitsu to their arsenal, we're breaking down precisely how they're using it so you can add it to yours and hopefully take up the learning of this incredible art, the gentle way.
So, I went to UFC 131.
Tell us about it.
It was great. I hadn't been to a UFC since UFC 5. I'm sorry, I haven't been in the corner since UFC 5, and now UFC 131. It was great. Let's break down. Chris Weidman,
Yes.
got a guillotine.
In the prelims on Spike, there was a nice guillotine sunk. Standing guillotine. It's kind of rare to see it finish while standing, but it went down.
And it was very much towards the end. Standing up, right?
There was actually 5 seconds left in the round when he tapped out for it. It was a lot of ground, a lot of half guard passing, a lot of north-south, a couple arm lock attempts. He seemed like a very, very dedicated to going for the finish, you know. And then standing up, the hump. Freaking Bill, hold on. So what he did is he went for the single leg, and his opponent, Jesse Bonfeld, went for the single leg, and as he came in, it was a right single. He got this.
He got a knee. He threw a knee?
He threw a knee, yes. Boom, he grabbed the leg, he stuffed the head, and he wrapped it standing. Boom, he got it in the neck. Now, this guillotine was deep. Like, deep to where, like, it was almost rear naked choke deep, where the elbow was completely V'd under the neck right here. And once he grabbed his own wrist over here, put his hips in, shoulder down, I mean, it was game over. It was vacuum sealed. And
Chris is a wrestler, so he's got this natural power, and he just, boom,
animal
took
strength.
it.
And he had it 100%. Hips were in. He was almost basically hanging his opponent by his neck. And Jesse was peeling at the hands, trying to find an opening.
No
but
gap.
Guess what? Like a rear naked choke,
No.
go for the opening. There's no opening here. It was the same thing from the front. Now, great submission, and naturally getting a choke that tight, you panic a little bit, but you don't see that many standing guillotines amongst professional fighters because they're pretty easy to defend. So we thought it would be a good time to discuss the most important defensive principle for the guillotine, which is take the fight to the ground and end up on the opposite side of the choke. So if I have Hidon's neck here, if nothing else, if he does a lazy leg hook and just falls to the ground on this side over here, go ahead, and we just fall down together, boom, and he goes to his knees right here, he's safe.
See, right now, because of the position, I might have a better angle to access his wrist. And then from here, all he really needed was to survive for maybe 10 more seconds, 5 more seconds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The round was over, 5 seconds left. So if he would have landed on the side mount, he would have been okay. So get the fight to the ground, control the opposite leg.
Much less leverage on the floor.
Mark Munoz, tell us about it.
And Damian Maia, there was a time where Mark was going for Damian's leg.
You want to show the crucifix first or the choke that he attempted that the homie mounted his legs?
It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
You can do the choke first.
Cool. So, boom.
Mark had his back and actually went for a submission, okay? That just shows you something about Mark's jiu-jitsu. So, he shot the arm through, locked this up, and then, which way did he roll?
Under this side, yeah.
He fell over, but when he fell, he didn't maintain, go back. Mark would have liked to have this here and like, boom. So almost be a little bit more parallel, but what happened was Damian went to the side mount. As Mark shot it, Mark fell, Damian kind of held his leg, and then he stepped over, freeze, right there. Now the grip was not even on the bicep, it was in the forearm, and then naturally the hands kind of slipped out. Damian runs to the side mount. So all in all, half guard, yes, all in all, the attack was great, but it just wasn't a perfect lockup, so it was only a matter of time before the grip slipped free.
Yeah, so essentially this Dar's choke from kind of the turtle position is a little bit risky, as Mark felt, because you shoot it, you spin under the guy, and you hope to keep it fully intact and locked and choke him out if it lands. But if it doesn't, you end up on the bottom of the fight. And that was probably the scariest part of the whole fight, except for the crucifix, that Mark ended up in, was after he missed that choke and ended up on the bottom. But luckily, Mark is a very wormy kind of getting up from the bottom, you know? So you could hear the commentator, you can hear Joe talking about how, you know, it was such a dangerous position for Mark. He started getting up to his knees right here first, boom. Getting up to your knees, like get up a little more, he went like this, and then he laid back down, went the other way, single leg, got up to his knees there, go up, take the leg, and then he stood up with the leg, and then he punched him in the face right here with the right. Boom!
Yeah, so
you know, right,
it's just a lot, he's very good at changing directions. He'll go one way 100%, and then he'll switch back. And
right, which is a good strategy. And he does it with 100% conviction. So all of your efforts are dedicated to stopping one direction of escape, and suddenly the other side is completely open. He takes full advantage of it. And that's from his wrestling background, which is pretty cool. Energy consuming, but for Mark, for the Filipino wrecking machine, it works.
So we're here, the head was to the outside, correct? Or was to the inside?
Yes, Mark's head was to the outside single right here. Head outside, single, and
then he went for the arm.
He started going for this arm here.
Correct. Eventually he let go, and when he let go, he went behind. Go around the back, boom, hug the back with your right arm.
Yes,
yes, he went to here. Now from here,
Mark put his head under the leg.
Mark tried to go under.
There's a wrestling maneuver called the Iranian where you get your head under their leg and you pick them up and you try to throw them off your back, and try to throw them straight off your back and get on top. It has to do with putting your head under their hips or their groin area and then straight elevation right there. But against a crafty, jiu-jitsu master that Damian is, when he got his leg grabbed and had this other arm and Mark started to lift up, put his head under, bro, when he went like this, the other leg caught this arm. So as he threw the head leg off, he ended up trapping. Move your hips away a little bit.
He was on his knees here.
Move away a little more, bro. Move away a little more. Boom. So the arm is trapped. The legs are trapped here. Move away, move away, move away. Boom. We ended up in this situation here. Okay. Now, what Damian would have liked to have done, if Mark's neck was as long as Hedon's neck, and he may have accomplished it, is to get a perfect wrap right here, and then let this go and sunk it right here. Boom. And this is over. This is over.
Possibly a choke, or even maybe just pull my head. Just kind of crank the neck.
Right.
Hold hands maybe and just start, because he wasn't going for a full rear naked choke. He didn't have the angle.
He tried, but his chin was too tight.
I think he was holding palm to palm, pulling towards you. Yes. And when he did that, Mark's legs kind of came out.
Right.
Because he already knew that by staying on his knees, there would be no ability to slide south.
Right.
Now, hold my arm right here, Damian. If you have my arm, I'm pretty much stuck. But holding my arm is not going to allow you to lock hands and pull on my neck the same. So he came around this arm.
And I think what incentivized Damian to think about it is lower yourself a little lower and turn your chin towards the legs. And Mark tried to lock hands on the legs right there. Lock hands.
Correct.
Because Mark wanted to free that. So that's when he said, man, I'm going to go for this. But Mark's neck was not fully exposed as Hedon's is. So he would do this and he got kind of the head, or either this cross-facing or going for even a full choke or a combination. And then from here, man, look at Mark. Look at how Hedon uses his feet to shrug south and away. Boom, his head slipped out and he got up and they both stood up and then it was back to the single leg situation for Mark. So that south shrug and the tucked chin basically saved his life.
Yeah, and when it's slippery, the sweat is there, there's no reason why he can't slip out. It's very good. All in all, there's not too much panic. He was just sitting there for a second. I think he knew that there was going to be a window. It's only a matter of time before a window pops up.
And the fact that they were against this wall, specifically for this crucifix, really did limit Damian's mobility and ability to basically scoot away, because part of the effectiveness of that crucifix position is that you can move out back and constantly change your angle in relation to your opponent's body and neck. And if not going for a choke, you can transition out on top into a side mount, at least keep the dominant position.
Yeah.
He didn't get the choke or the dominant position because of the wall and because of Mark's patience. Tuck little neck. Man, that neck is gone. And then he just slips out and does it once again. Nice turns from the bottom, nice scrambles to the top position. We've got a lot of email questions, comments, Facebook and Twitter regarding the choke that took place at the very end of Junior Dos Santos versus Shane Carwin. Very end. Of course, Junior Dos Santos dominated the whole fight, 100%. Almost ended the round TKO in the round one. And then at the very end, Junior Dos Santos went for a double leg, okay? Standing up, bro. So he went for this double leg, boom, and Shane wraps his neck right here, boom, and take me down, ends up in the side mount, bro, go ahead. He jumps around to the side mount on the double leg, and we landed here, boom. Shane had the neck so tight with like 10 seconds left, 8 seconds left. It was so tight that as he squeezed, make a little more sprawl, he started twisting, and he fell. And then the neck is still wrapped, arm is still wrapped, and we ended up in this situation right here. Okay, it's a very interesting guillotine situation, but we explored this situation, and people want to know if it's chokeable or not, and we've concluded that if deeply wrapped, as it is right now, it can be a choke, because my blade is choking Hedon's artery here, and my rib cage on the other one. So
that's like every submission, you know. We have no idea how snug it really was, but like right now, it's tight. He brought it. He took all the slack out. There's no way.
Yeah, so the body is plugged in right there. It's a head and arm guillotine to the fullest, and when he got on top, if he would have stayed on, if Junior would be able to stay on the side mount on top, it wouldn't have happened. But because he rolled him and he got on top, there was this interesting neck crank effect here where the neck is getting pushed into his chest with a wide base right there, and you're twisting that. Very interesting situation, but definitely a modified, arm and guillotine from the side mount like that, which could probably only happen if you rolled out from the bottom of the fight, because to get that straight from the side mount is a very awkward position where your body is. So that's the deal.
There's a little bit of talk I was hearing about how Damian Maia is not jiu-jitsu rooted anymore and he's going the wrong direction, but that's not really the case. Damian Maia is amazing jiu-jitsu, but it just shows you how little bit of knowledge on Mark's side and myself helping him and Rener, just a little bit of preparation and awareness of the possible submissions and Damian Maia's, taking the back ability, how we can, prepare someone, and Mark himself is aware of what's out there, and plus with our help. So for the world to think that Damian Maia is, not staying true to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's not true. Mark is just also learning it. So therefore,
against an explosive,
balances out
person with tremendous energy, power, and endurance for those 3-5 minute rounds, someone who's training for that, if they have the energy and the sweat to slip out of submissions for 3-5 minute rounds, and they're on top most of the time, they can win the fight just like that.
Especially when the rules allow that.
Right.
Mark is just better at the game.
Mark played the game better. Mark played those rules better and fought, but it was definitely his awareness though, his training jiu-jitsu.
And there's no doubt that Damian Maia's jiu-jitsu is unbelievable and better than Mark's.
Oh, there's no question.
But there's no time for him to allow the jiu-jitsu to apply itself, which is okay. And that's great for us, for Mark, because Mark's our friend, but Damian Maia and jiu-jitsu his jiu-jitsu is still amazing.
Correct, yeah, 100%. And Mark definitely knew enough to neutralize the main threats that are out there. And he did it to the fullest.
Very good.
So amazing. Let's give away that gi or what?
Let's give away the gi.
We promise you guys that Gracie Gold Weave gi. You keep talking to them, I'll be right back.
You were actually wearing the Gold Weave gi. I've never worn it before. But I can't wait to get one. I might even keep this one right here and then we'll just mail out, this my size? A6.
Listen, A6 is a little bit big, but whoever, but for the winner today, we don't know your size yet, bro. YouTube username Adam, A-T-O-M, Adam Warlock. Congratulations. And the question for the last insider was, gi or no gi, and why? And Adam Warlock said gi, because in a street fight, most people are wearing clothing, unless you're on the beaches of Rio de Janeiro, but in the street fight, most people are wearing clothing, so you can use the gi against them and choke him. That was his opinion. A lot of people had a lot of great input. No gi, because it makes you better at control, submission opportunities,
and gi, because if you're wearing a gi, then that means the person's always controlling you and pinning you down better. And jiu-jitsu is about survival, so your ability to be controlled by someone and still survive is very important.
10-4. So both gi and no gi have to be mastered before you get a black belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
But starting with gi is easier, because going from no gi to gi is like a very difficult transition.
10-4.
But getting really good, or getting blue belt, purple belt in a gi and then removing the gi, I think is the way to go.
It's a wiser transition, it's easier transition, and it's for the survival reasons. Gi, here's the bottom line, gi training optimizes your submission counters and your survival and escape abilities. No gi training optimizes your control abilities and your submission strategies, because it's harder to control and submit someone, so you have to get better. So what's more important, offense or defense? Survival.
Defense.
Survival. Gracie Jiu-Jitsu all the way.
First.
If you don't lose, you can only win. Okay? Unless it's MMA and it's a 3-5 minute round and then you don't lose and then the judges score the other guy, because some of the judges, they don't know what's going on.
You think because the judges scored you the victor, the other person lost, but they didn't lose.
Dang.
Damian Maia didn't really lose.
Right.
He just lost that little game. It wasn't a huge defeat,
Like ping pong.
Correct.
10-4.
Now, if he would have got choked in that darts, he would have lost.
That was close. Dang, Mark, respect. Listen, so this gi is going to Adam Warlock. Congratulations. We want to give something else away, okay? And we'll give another gi another day. But for today, Grandmaster, you feeling the energy? What do you want to give away?
Just give some good Gracie stuff. What you got in there?
How'd you see that, bro? You guys, I thought we'd give away the #1 Gracie t-shirt of all time, my personal favorite. Grandmaster tee. Okay? Eddie Gracie, the original Grandmaster poster picture. Foil, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu foil up the ribs right here. And applique stitching, embroidered Gracie triangle. I mean,
without the foil, without the applique stitching, it's still the best shirt.
It's still the best shirt of all time. Super water-based ink, so it's blended in on a super soft cotton. This is like Gracie formal wear right here. You know what I'm saying? Like you wear this to a wedding, you wear this to like,
under your tux.
You wear this to like court, you wear this to like important gatherings,
And no one will stop you, no one will question you.
Respect.
What's the question?
Remember the time when Hidon said, yeah, how do I tap Rener every day? Easy, easy, easy. The first time, because I eventually, after several years of torment, suffering, surviving my best, following the Grandmaster's ideas, after several years, I finally caught Hidon one time.
What's that submission?
Only once, but I caught him. What was the one that I finally balanced the scale with?
Give us the position and the submission.
Yeah, it was kind of a unique one. So you know what you have to do. Subscribe to the Gracie Breakdown channel, favorite this video, and leave a comment on the video. Keep it real.